So, I know we've talked about LionsMatrix, but I realized that throughout the talking of LionsMatrix, there's one keyword: leadership, leadership, leadership. Can you throw more light on leadership for me?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So leadership, like you said, is a cardinal pillar, when it comes to LionsMatrix. But what is leadership from my perspective, right? Leadership is serving. I feel like it all boils down to serving, or maybe another word would be helpfulness. And I chose serving for a reason. The greatest leader of all times, in my opinion, you don't have to agree, Jesus. Jesus said that in order for you to be a leader, whoever wants to be the leader among you must first be a servant.
That's right. That's right.
And I think there's so much wisdom in there, serving. So just two words really for me: serving and helpfulness. So the question is, can you serve? Can you be of help unto others? That is leadership. Just in a simple, just in my own little way in trying to explain or kind of define leadership. And I love this definition by John C. Maxwell as well. He said that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing else. Brian Tracy also says that be the kind of leader that others will follow voluntarily.
Wow.
Even when you have no title or no position. I love it. But all of this sounds good, right? But before you become that leader, it's all about growing yourself first. And then you can help grow others. Khalil Gibran says it best. It says that the goal is to advance, for advancement is perfection. The goal is to advance and never halt. Actually, the goal is to advance and never halt, for advancement is perfection. So, we all need to strive in our own way to advance. In order to be able to help others as well. I tell people, if I'm in the same class with you, and I even think myself that I'm better than you academically, why would I come to you to help me solve a problem? When I know you should be coming to me, right? So when people perceive that you have something to give, you have something to offer, that is when you become that magnet. Like we said, some leaders have this charisma, they pull people, in. But it's not all rosy as it sounds. Leadership comes with, you've probably heard the saying that says that uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. So there's some burden, there is this weight on leadership, and you must be willing to take it. If you're not willing, then that's not for you. So it's, that is what separates common men from people who we look up to as great leaders, because they were willing to go the extra mile. People with an excellent spirit, they will come to work, let's say 5 minutes earlier and leave 5 minutes, after the closing bell. There is some sort of, when you look all throughout history, right? The people that we celebrate the most, they've gone through stuff. Look at the Nelson Mandela's, the Mother Teresa's, and he was in jail for like how long? Over 20 years or so. That's a lot of pain. All right. Khalil Gibran, the Lebanese author who is known for the book The Prophet, said that your joy is your sorrow unmasked. So that is just to add to the weight, the burden, the pain that I was talking, that it comes with leadership.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So with leadership, right? Do you have to have a higher IQ, or do you have to be intelligent, or is there a level that you need to be at before you become a leader?
Great question, my brother. The answer is no. And I'll give you the statistics, right? 50% of Fortune 500 CEOs graduated with either a C or a C minus. 50% of millionaires right now, like millionaire entrepreneurs, they never graduated from college.
Wow.
Do you actually know that 65% of senators in the US graduated bottom half of their class? And 75% of presidents, the ones who rule over you really, also graduated bottom half of their class.
Wow.
So it's not about having a high IQ. It's not about being super smart, being a geek, being a techie person, being this, Shark Tank or anything like that. But it's all embedded in basic principles, habits that help people to improve, and anybody can improve. So you don't need any special giftings. Matter of fact, talent is overrated, right? We have a lot of talented people who don't have their desired results, But don't get me wrong, talent is a given. It's an added advantage, but it doesn't put you ahead of anybody. If you are working as hard as the ordinary Joe, then yes, you can add that special thing to it, right? But really, it's all about habits. And it's funny when I say habit, because first we learned that when you do something, continuously or consecutively for 21 days, it becomes a habit. Then it bumped up to like 40 something. Now it's like 66 days or so. Man, cut that crap. It's all about being diligent.
Yeah.
But really, we think to be wealthy, to become this magical thing, you have to do something. Like there's no, it's not like there's this one bullet. It's just habits. It all boils down to habit. Wouldn't you rather you go to work, you have 8 hours? Wouldn't you rather, sweat for 4 hours and use the other 4 hours for something else, than just waste time, do nothing, waste all your day on the 8 hours? And then when it's just left with 1 hour, you are now cramming and trying to do everything. No. When you wake up in the morning, we all know your mind, well, if you're an early bird, your mind is super active. That's the time to be productive. You literally from like 5 a.m. to like 10, 11 a.m. It's time to be creative. Put in the work. There was a time I used to write, at least 5 pages or so almost every day. Was it easy? It was not. But I had to keep up with it. It's a sacrifice. You have to be diligent. Right? It's just habits. It's not easy. I will not sit here and be like it's easy. No, it's not. But you need to make up your mind that you will do it. You will do it. If you have to set reminders for yourself, set it. Set alarms for yourself, set it. Build a system around you that constantly, reminds you.
Build matrix.
Get in the matrix. Get in the matrix. And that is why we want to build this.
Yeah.
Right. So that when you come in, you interact with like-minded people who are going somewhere. And let me tell you, I've had chats with many people, and success is really predictable. When you see somebody who is hungry for success, it would take no time. You will see them. I was speaking with one guy, one friend of mine, Fox, who said that there was one guy who came into the country and was very hungry, very ambitious, wanted to get into the tech industry, started reading, researching, doing what it takes. And eventually he got in and making 6 figures. But I said he could tell it was predictable. The guy was ready. It's habits. It doesn't, there's this old saying, we hear it all the time, an army of sheep led by a lion, they will eventually be what? And an army of lions led by a sheep. Why? Because the lion has that great habits.
Yes.
That will turn them into lions.
Yes.
As they watch the lion do what it does best, just being itself, being bold, taking risk. And of course, if you're not taking risk, forget it, you're not going anywhere. There's nothing spiritual. You don't need any anointing. You don't need to do this. There are some things you got to do it yourself. You got to do what it takes. right? So it's just habits. You don't need any special IQ. You don't need it to be super intelligent. No, just habits.